Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our regular meeting of December 2nd. It is 7:01. Our first order of business is to resolution for adopting the agenda.
Moved by Harold Levine, second by Maureen McMillan. Be it resolved that Council for the Township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards hereby adopts the agenda for the regular council meeting of December 2nd, 2025 as presented.
All in favor? Carried. And now our First Nations land acknowledgement. As we gather today, I would like to acknowledge on behalf of this committee and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We would like to thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. And we are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And please join me in a moment of silent reflection. And thank you. In regards to my address, a couple of events that I attended on behalf of the township. November 26th, the county council meeting with committees of development and property and an operations committee meeting. The 28th, which you'll hear, I'm sure, tonight about, the Holly Jolly Market at Station Park, which was really, really good. And on the 29th, went to Bonshire Provincial Park, and they had the Jingle Mingle Market, which was another great event for the weekend. And this was not in the month of December, but these really kicked off the month of December. It was really a good couple days. And then also on the 29th, we had our staff Christmas party. And then on the 30th, the Friendship Club Christmas dinner, which was another well-attended event. And does anyone have any pecuniary financial interest to declare? Haven't seen none. And we welcome our librarian, Nicole.
Thank you guys very much for making some time in your agenda for me this evening. I'm here basically just to give you an update on what the library has been up to and kind of an end of year report. So for those of you who may not know me, my name is Nicole Zelmak, and I am the librarian and CEO at the library. And like I said, I just wanted to share some highlights with you. So I could go on and on about how wonderful the library is, but I decided to focus on a couple of specific things for this evening. And one is, I really feel like we've come into our own since we've had our library expansion, our renovation in 2020. We weathered the first years of COVID, and now we're really hitting our stride. And I can say that the library is absolutely the community gathering place for people in KHR. It's much more than just books. And in 2025 so far, actually just looking at the first 10 months of our operations, we had more than 70 successful programs at the library, engaging hundreds and hundreds of citizens of all ages. So more than 700 right so far and counting have been at our program. So I think it's something that we should all be proud of, that we have this community gathering space for all. And a part of making that successful and having it be a successful gathering place is this relationship building that we've been working on for, more than a decade. For as long as I have been at the library, we've been forging a variety of partnerships and together building better things for our community, for our patrons and our supporters, but also, just in general, for the community to make KHR a great place to live. And just in relation to that, the back of your little handout that I gave you, rather than listing all the organizations that we've been working with, I put their logos on the back because I'm a visual person. And I do regret that I did not remember the Killaloe Food Bank. So the Killaloe Food Bank logo should be there, but those are just some of the organizations that we've partnered with recently. Obviously, the township being first and foremost, strong supporter of the library, obviously, so I thank you for that. And as well, for this presentation, I wanted to focus on our fundraising success this year, and it's especially appropriate, I suppose, because if you weren't aware, today is Giving Tuesday, the first Tuesday in December. For more than a decade now has been this global movement of, after Black Friday and all the shopping that we do in preparation for the holidays, we're encouraged to think of local charities and organizations and to give to them before the end of the year. So we actually launched a Giving Tuesday campaign, and some of you may have seen some of our promotions about that. And I would certainly encourage anyone and everyone to consider giving to a local organization if they have the ability to make a charitable contribution this year, to look locally, because not just the library, but all these organizations I listed on the back of my handout, all doing amazing work. And when we give locally, we know those dollars just go so much further to benefiting our own local community and citizens. So we've had great fundraising success this year, irrespective of Giving Tuesday and what we're going to accomplish in the days ahead. We had a very ambitious fundraising goal this year of $20,000. We've never raised that much before, and we're very, very close to achieving that goal of raising $20,000 ourselves, in addition to all the support we get from the municipality and other levels of government. And that's been done through a variety of initiatives. We've been expanding our fundraising pursuits a lot in the last year and a half, and formalizing some of our fundraising goals, or some of our fundraising processes. So we're hoping that is successful, even more successful in the years ahead. And lastly, just, I've been telling you about some of these great public facing achievements we've had with fundraising and community gathering and bringing people together. But as I have spoken to you about before, we also launched a strategic plan last year, published a strategic plan for the library last year, a 5-year plan. And I wanted to highlight that we are very close to achieving one of our core objectives, which was to make the library CEO position a full-time position, because it has not been a full-time position. It is still not, but we are very close to achieving that goal in 2026. And that's in large part thanks to the support we've received from council for that objective. So I wanted to thank you for all that you do on a day-to-day basis, all the ways that you have shown your support for the library and your continued support for the library. And just know that that money that you use, to support the library, or that you give to support the library, is being leveraged to do some really great things in the community. And I didn't want to drown you guys with statistics tonight, because I know I do that sometimes, but as I said, we've run so many programs this year. We've reached hundreds and hundreds of people in the community. We have had already over 2,000 school and daycare visits to the library this year. And we've circulated more than 15,000 items already. And that's just in the first 10 months. So we're a very busy place. We're a very well-used library, and there's more to come. So I'm looking forward to 2026 and all the great things we're going to achieve. And I'm glad you guys will be a part of it. And if you have any questions for me, please fire away.
Thanks very much, Nicole. Keep doing what you're doing. Fantastic job. And I think the community really appreciates your efforts. And I know we do. And does anyone have any questions for Nicole? Yes.
Not really a question, just a comment. I want to say that all the successes that thank you. All the successes that you're talking about at the library are largely due to your leadership. It's really quite incredible to watch you. I've been on the board for 7 years now, and you're really a driving force that is expanding the library and expanding what we're doing. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's very kind of you to say. it definitely is a team effort and I'm part of that team. So I'll take the compliment this time, but nothing happens alone at the library, as I'm sure you all know. So I thank everyone who helps out with that.
Yeah,
Right.
just a comment. First off, thank you, Nicole, for the update on the library. It's so nice to hear all the positives that the library brings to the community, and you guys, like Bill says, yourself and your team there, you're doing a wonderful job, and keep up the good work.
Thanks, Brian.
I just had a PS come to the open house.
Yeah, so I was getting my closing line. You stole
Okay.
my thunder. Yes, if there aren't other questions, my last tidbit was just to mention this Thursday is our annual holiday open house. It's really a fantastic event, tons of people from the community and just a great way to get out and mix and mingle a little bit. We're going to have our wonderful community choir, OK Chorale, and refreshments and some seasonal holiday readings, I guess you'd say, some reminiscence and stories as well. So come and check it out. It's from 6 to 8 this Thursday.
And also the tree lighting is happening too.
Yes, and the municipal trees are going, the lights outside the municipal building are going to be lit up
Great.
at that time as well. So yeah, kicking off the season in style.
Great. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, thanks.
And you're more than welcome to stay if you wish.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go and file my papers.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Minutes of the previous meetings.
Moved by Brian Pekoski, second by Harold Levine. Motion to approve the minutes of the regular council meeting of November 18th, 2025, open session.
Questions, discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Anybody have any questions about the meetings? You good? Ted?
Yeah, I've got an email from Bob, Fire Chief. Because we have to have a meeting for emergency management,
Yeah.
but there's no committees, so
No, that's a provincial committee. You're okay.
that's fine.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas? Okay. Are you doing that on behalf of Bob, or is Bob going to come to us?
Well, I told him I didn't know if I could attend, so he's going to bring it up one of those full committee meetings.
Yep. Okay. Anybody else? Nope. Okay. No reports, no accounts, no severances, no committee reports, correspondence. There's a lot of these guys. Town of Wasaga Beach. I think that's supposed to be beach. Yep. Advocacy for funds to effectively manage the emerald ash borer infestation. Municipality of Wawa, upholding women's rights, leadership in environmental health, and the implementation of Ontario Bill 5. Ministry of Natural Resources, Black Bear Harvest Management in Ontario, right?
Yeah, I was looking at this one here, I'm not too sure. I don't, it looks like, myself, I don't agree with what we want to do. It looks like they want to extend the protection area for the females and cubs into the fall for the hunting of black bear, and I think it's the opposite way. I think we have way more bears in our area than we need right now. So I don't support that, sure.
Okay.
I don't know about how anyone else feels, but if you talk to people around the area, there's bears all over the place, including town of Killaloe. I think have them last summer here on and off. That's not natural, so I think there's already plenty of bears without protecting them more by changing the seasons or the limits.
Oh, there was some bears too.
So we're just gonna basically file this, okay?
You will not object to this?
Well, they're asking for feedback.
Yeah. I'm gonna check.
Okay.
I think in there, there's, you can go onto the actual website and you can have that.
We do that personally ourselves.
You can, or if council wanted to do a resolution, I can have it prepared for the next council meeting.
I'd say so.
I would like to see that, yeah, because that's what I'm saying for our area. Maybe some areas that if they could be right, but in our area, I think we have plenty of areas to.
Okay, next one is Alex Blaze.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we're talking about Saguenay and Bruce Peninsula. They're concerned about the bears. I don't know. Never.
This one is Alex Blaze, and it's one to be read out loud. Tammy?
The following letter should be read out loud to the public. They deserve to know. Demanding fair and transparent representation for the upcoming 2026 elections for KHR Township. Letter to KHR Mayor and members of council. I am writing to express concern and request clarity regarding the upcoming referendum to reduce the size of council from 6 members to 4, especially in light of the strong mayor powers and now applying Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards. Strong mayor powers significantly shift decision-making authority on Ontario's strong mayor framework grants the mayor veto power over certain bylaws, control over municipal budget, including the ability to veto council amendments, authority to appoint or remove the CAO and reorganize municipal departments and committees, the ability to advance matters aligned with provincial priorities and to require council to consider them, limited judicial review for certain mayoral decisions. These expanded authorities materially change how local governance functions. Reducing council size will increase the mayor's relative power. A smaller council means fewer representatives for residents and narrower range of community perspectives. Less ability for councillors to balance mayoral power, especially when veto powers and administrative control already centralize decision-making. Fewer voices to challenge, scrutinize, or amend policy decisions. In this context, reducing council size amplifies the mayor's influence far more than it would under a traditional weak mayor system. Public understanding and transparency are essential. Before asking voters to make this decision, residents deserve clear evidence-based cost savings, not estimates or assumptions, an explanation of how a 4-member council would maintain effective checks and balances under strong mayor powers, a full outline of how this structure will affect representation, accountability, staffing, committee oversight, and the municipality's long-term governance. A referendum is non-binding and costly. As the province notes, referendums on governance matters are non-binding and their value depends heavily on voter turnout and the quality of information provided to residents. If public funds are being used, clear justification and transparent communication are essential. Residents have the right to a fully informed decision. Under the Municipal Act, residents must be given proper public notice, at least one public meeting, access to all information relevant to the proposed change. We ask that council ensure these obligations are met in full and that the materials be released well in advance of the referendum. Given the significant shift towards centralized authority created by strong mayor powers and the democratic implications of reducing representation, we respectfully request a comprehensive, publicly available analysis of the financial, administrative, and democratic impacts of reducing council size, a clear explanation of how council oversight will function under the 4-member structure, assurance of robust public engagement, including multiple opportunities for residents to ask questions and receive factual, neutral information. Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards deserves a governance structure that enhances accountability, transparency, and community representation, not one that diminishes it. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Sincerely, Alexander Blay, homeowner.
Next one is Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing, amendments to Ontario Regulation 54506. Renfrew County and District Health Unit, Health Promotion and Infectious Disease Report to the Board of Health. Renfrew County District Health Unit, Health Protection Report to the Board of Health. Friends of Monsieur Park, jingle and mingle along the Little Monsieur. Municipality of Calvin, strengthening self-defense protections and addressing rising home invasions.
This one I actually felt like maybe we should support. I don't know if the rest of you feel the same way. I don't know. I would like to support this one.
Okay, we'll bring it back. Okay.
You guys okay? We'll do a resolution for it. County of Renfrew, Queens Park Advocacy Day. Number of counselors and ward system by Mike and Joanne Miller. I don't think we're supposed to read that out. Next one is AORS. This is the trade show that's going to be happening next year. And hopefully, Tammy, you can pass this on. I'm sure Dean knows all about this, but they are looking for volunteers, and they're very excited about it. And so, yeah, if there's anybody who wants to help volunteer, let us know. It should be, they're expecting over 2,000 people. So it's in Petawawa. Yeah, Ted?
We've gone to this multiple times around Ontario, and I would think we should really consider renting a booth and setting a booth up for KHR. There's a lot of people coming from all over.
That is a very good suggestion. And did they include the cost of a booth here, I think? Maybe we could pass this on to Colton to look at it further. I think they've held it here before. I'm not sure what year it was, but it goes over really big. It's a well-attended event. So can we pass that on to Colton? Is everybody okay with that?
Dean and Colton.
Dean and Colton. And again, if any of their people, Dean's people want to volunteer, they'll be looking for volunteers. So next one was a brochure on Crime Stoppers. Have we ever donated to Crime Stoppers?
No.
No. Does anyone have any interest in that for the upcoming future?
Donate 500 some $1,000 every year to the OPP. That's
City of Brantford, Professional Activity PA Day on Municipal Election Day. City of Windsor, Bill 68 and Conservation Authorities Act. And the County of Renfrew Warden's Community Service Awards. And that's it for the correspondence. Now we move to bylaws. Bylaw 47.
Moved by Brian Pekoski, second by Maureen McMillan, that bylaw number 47, 2025, being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 11, 2024, being the zoning bylaw of the Corporation of the Township of Killaloe, Hagerty, and Richards, be given its first, second, and third reading, and finally passed this second day of December 2025.
All those in favor? Carried. At this time, under bylaws, I'd like to issue two directives. The first one will be the December 9th Committee of the Whole meeting has already been scheduled on the township's approved calendar. It will include a public input session, as previously announced, to allow residents to speak on council composition and the ward system. That session will proceed to ensure legislative compliance, transparency, and public engagement as required under Section 226.1. I will now be issuing a mayoral directive number 8, directing the CO clerk to include the public input session on the December 9th agenda exactly where it was planned. The directive is binding under provincial law.
That directive doesn't fall under strong mayor powers, sir.
There you go.
That's enough.
Yep. And the second bylaw,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
At the start of the meeting, we approved the agenda, and that is not on the agenda. So
Yeah,
I don't
directives.
think we have to do that.
yeah, directives can be placed anywhere. That's a
So why
fact,
do we have to approve agenda then, if we can do anything put into it.
because we don't have a place to issue an announcement of future bylaws. The second one we will hear from the public on December 9th, and I will now issue a formal mayoral directive to the CO clerk to prepare and present the bylaws required under sections 217 and 222 of the Municipal Act. These bylaws will appear on the December 16th agenda. Council will have the opportunity to debate and vote at that time, as required by law. This ensures lawful process, public accountability, and compliance with provincial legislation to ensure full clarity and to prevent further administrative obstruction. Okay. Unfinished business.
Yeah,
Mr.
so,
McMillan.
so neither of those directives are, I don't believe they would stand. So our council had decided that we wanted to have a referendum at the election. And so I have a resolution prepared to honor the decision that we made. I really feel like the public should have a voice in this matter. I believe we all at the table talked about this for the past year. We were all at a decision. I'm not sure where this came from. There's not enough time to even do this. There's an appeal process involved with changing the ward system, I believe. And if there's an appeal made, it's not gonna, I believe that would affect this going forward. Anyway, I really do want to protect our democratic process. I feel like what you're doing, Mr. Mayor, is not democratic at all. I'm not sure it's even falls under the scope of your strong mayor framework. I'm pretty sure it doesn't, in fact. So I'd like to have my resolution read aloud.
Moved by Maureen McMillan, second by Harold Levine, whereas council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards wishes to seek public input on the structure of council, specifically the ward system and the number of elected representatives. And whereas placing questions on the municipal ballot provides residents with a direct opportunity to express their preferences regarding the governance structure of the township. Now therefore be it resolved that council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards hereby directs that 2 questions be placed on the next municipal election ballot as follows. Number 1, are you in favor of abolishing the current ward system in the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards? And number 2, are you in favor of reducing the size of council to 4 councillors and 1 mayor for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards? And be it further resolved that council directs staff to initiate all necessary steps in accordance with the Municipal Elections Act and any other applicable legislation to prepare, submit, and implement the above noted ballot questions.
Questions or discussion?
So just to note, this is a council decision. Yeah. This directive cannot supersede the fact that this is our decision and it always has been our decision. And you were in favor of this up until last month. So I don't know what's going on with you or what changed.
Stay on subject. So
Yeah.
does anyone have any questions to ask Councillor McMillan? Okay, would Councillor McMillan defer this resolution until after the bylaw vote?
Absolutely not.
Okay. So, comments. Under sections 217 and 222 of the Municipal Act, both council composition and ward system can be changed only by bylaw, not by referendum. A referendum does not amend the structure of council. Only a bylaw passed by council can do that. Even if a referendum were held, it could be advisory only, and we won't know whether it is advisory or binding until after it's complete. And regardless,
Did we just have a discussion about binding? Yeah, we just had this discussion. And were you listening to that discussion that we had?
can I finish my comment?
Yes.
I didn't interrupt you.
Okay, that's fine.
Good. And where was I? It could be advisory only, and we won't know whether it is advisory or binding until after it's complete. And regardless, council would still be required to pass a bylaw afterward. At this point, council does not have anywhere near enough information to make an informed decision about holding a referendum. There has been no briefing, no financial analysis, no procedural explanation, and no discussion on what a referendum would actually involve or cost. And council should not proceed without first knowing the full financial impact, which would require new unbudgeted funding to be built into the township's budget plan. We are being asked to consider a referendum without any facts or figures, any explanation of timelines, and analysis of what it would mean for the 2026 election. More importantly, a referendum introduces delay. A referendum is an alternative, but it is unnecessary under the Municipal Act, provides no guarantee of resolving the issue, creates costly and avoidable delay. Our job is to hear from the public next week, debate the bylaws on December 16th, and vote. That is the democratic process. Ted?
So I talked about it before. Next week, we're gonna have 25 people here. We're not gonna have people, the cottagers, which probably make up a third of our population. So I can tell you right now, I'm not gonna vote without everybody's information.
And if you had that?
We can get it.
We're gonna get it on the election ballot.
Do you know what's going to take place next week?
Do I know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You might have all the
waste our
information.
time like every other committee of the whole meeting.
You might have information that you're not, you might be surprised by.
Well, what's the information then?
You'll find out next Tuesday
Well, why wouldn't you tell us now?
because it's not complete yet. It will be by next week.
Do you get all your information off of AI, Mr. Mayor?
No, off a tree.
Wow.
Anyways,
Anyway, can we have a vote, please?
can I call the vote? Or do you want to run this too?
Go ahead.
Okay. Good. All those in favor? Okay. Okay. Strong mayor training.
Okay, so the Integrity Commissioners Report dated November 5th. In it, it was recommended that council direct the mayor to obtain training on strong mayor powers from a council-approved provider. Council chose to defer the discussion of this recommendation until after MMAH's presentation on November the 24th. Now that the presentation has been delivered, council must determine how they wish to proceed.
Councillor Smith.
Sorry. I realize that that's what we're supposed to do, but we haven't heard, they weren't able to answer any of our questions last week, and they said that they'd provide timely access or answers to those questions. They had even suggested they might be available by last Friday, which I guess they're not. We don't know all of that to say we don't know whether or not the mayor is going to listen to what the ministry provides back to us. So I don't know if we're in a position yet to decide if the mayor needs even more training or not. So I'd like to continue to defer that decision until after we've had an opportunity to hear back what the ministry says.
Okay. Integrity Commissioner costs.
Okay, so I provided council with a report to receive its information regarding a breakdown of the integrity commissioner costs. Miscellaneous costs to date are $635.63. The code of conduct complaint against Councillor Brown was a total of $3,248.75. The code of conduct complaint against Councillor Smith was $2,939.75. And the code of conduct complaint against Mayor Mayville was $5,452.25.
Questions? I have two questions. In the complaint against Councillor Brown, the 3,248, is that a combination of file number 33209-3 and 33209-4? Because there was two, or is it all inclusive?
It's the three. There was three. Yeah, I believe there was three invoices.
Okay. And the other question I have is the closed complaint, which was 33209-6. Do we not have?
It's a separate. I wasn't asked to bring that forward.
Ah, okay. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. The questions. I think everybody got that through email. So after we had presented this, there was two different reports that came through, and the financial side, one showed a number of 300,000, the other showed 3,000, which started me asking some questions. And so the answers were provided. So why did we receive two reports? Two reports came. Do you want me to read this, or Tammy, do you want to read it?
Yeah.
You might as well if you want. Or you want me to ask the questions and you can give the answer? How's that? We'll split. So why did we receive two reports?
We received two reports from Aqua because Jason Yonker from Aqua prepared the first report. He didn't realize that there was a transfer from the Kidloo Special Area Rate Reserve to cover the deficit between the user charges and the expenditures for the Aqua contract and the hydro for 2025. The other piece of information he didn't have for the first report was the repairs and maintenance, and the major repairs and maintenance for the Kidloo drinking water system is financed by the Kidloo Special Area Rate. Jason Yonker, in his conversation with Will, commented that it is common practice for small municipalities in rural Ontario with water and wastewater systems to have a portion of the special area rate and transfers from reserves to help cover the shortfall between the user charges and the expenditures in the water and wastewater systems.
And what makes up the differences on page 11 and 13 within the two reports?
The first report didn't take into account the expenses finance covered by the Kidloo Special Area Rate of $27,877 and the $42,500 transfer from the Kidloo Special Area Reserve to cover the water deficit for the year, which was approved by the mayor and council during the 2025 budget process.
And are there residents who pay the special area rate who are not on the Kidloo drinking water system? Conversely, are there drinking water users who don't pay the SR, special area rate?
If you are a taxpayer in Kidloo, you pay the Kidloo Special Area Rate whether you are connected to the water system or not. The Kidloo Special Area Rate finances other expenditures other than just the water system repairs and maintenance and major repairs completed by Aqua.
And why is the special area rate used to help fund the DWS?
The Kidloo Special Area Rate is used to help finance the repairs and maintenance and the major repairs completed by Aqua for the Kidloo drinking water system, because it was one of the reasons that the Kidloo Special Area Rate was set up a number of years ago versus even higher increases to the water rates.
If reserves are being used to cover the costs of the system, how is the system self-sustaining?
During the 2025 budget process, the mayor and council approved the transfers from the Killaloe Special Area Rate Reserve to cover the operation deficit for 2025. The mayor and council in future years during the yearly budget process will have to address the question of how we will keep the drinking water system self-sustaining.
Can the system truly be shown as producing a net excess of revenue over expenses if reserves are being used?
The system can truly be shown producing a net excess of revenue over expenses when reserves are being used, because reserves are excess revenue from previous years from the Killaloe Special Area Rate that can be used when required.
How is the WWS working debt accumulated? Is it the total transfer from the SRA over time?
The Killaloe Drinking Water System Working Debt Accumulated Deficit represents the buildup of the deficits from previous years. The yearly deficits represent the difference between the user charges, transfers from reserves, and annual aqua contract, and the monthly hydro billing for the year. The Killaloe Special Area Rate is responsible for covering the expenses for the yearly maintenance and repairs and major repairs and maintenance completed by aqua associated with the Killaloe Drinking Water System.
In section 3.2 of the report notes in the first paragraph, the system deficit is expected to increase despite the high rate of increases. What is this system deficit? Is that the same as the working debt?
The Killaloe Drinking Water Deficit is the accumulated deficit from previous years. Working debt is the accumulated deficit from previous years less any cash. Since the Killaloe Drinking Water System has no cash, the system deficit and the working debt are the same amount.
How is the working debt going to eventually be paid off by 2031 if the system will continue to operate at a deficit without transfer from the special area reserve?
If the mayor and council during the budget process from 2026 to 2031 do not transfer funds from the special area reserve, if there is any available funds to be transferred, used all up from 2025 from the Ottawa River Power Reserve, or raise the water rates, or a combination of all of the above, the working debt will not be paid off by 2031.
The sewage system shows an accumulated loss at the end of 2024 of $16,599, up more than $10,000 from 2023. Is this deficit also funded by transfer from the SAR reserve?
The Killaloe Special Area Rate doesn't fund any of the Killaloe wastewater system expenditures.
Thank you for those answers to Charlene. And thank you for reading. Okay. Did anyone have any other questions on those? Okay. Okay, under new business. Committee of the whole meeting of December 9th, agenda amendment, public meeting.
Okay, so I don't know what council wants to do with the directives, but I don't believe that they are within the strong mayor power. I did some, after the mayor had indicated that he was calling a public meeting, I checked our procedural bylaw and I couldn't find anything for reference within it. So I ended up contacting our township solicitor. I did find out, so the mayor has directed that he wants a public input segment added to the committee of the whole agenda for the December 9th, 2025 meeting in regards to council composition in the ward system. Because the township procedural bylaw does not address this, council must pass a motion to amend the agenda, and I have prepared a resolution to support this request. The mayor would also like staff to assist in booking a venue, room layout, sound system equipment, communications once the details are finalized, preparation of a public input materials, and the collection and organization of public input for council's consideration on December the 16th. If council chooses to proceed with the public input segment, council will need to determine the preferred location for the meeting. Council can also choose to call a meeting to address this matter.
Comments?
One comment, just I'm not opposed to public meetings. I just, if we proceed with, well, we are proceeding with our referendum, I think we should have them at a time when more of our residents are here and we're not missing our seasonal people. So I think we should have public meetings. I think it's good for people to have a place to have a voice, even if they're getting a voice on the ballot, just to talk about the pros and cons to people. But I don't think we need one next week. It feels a little rushed.
Anybody else? So
I was just gonna say, I agree with that. With Maureen's.
okay. So, it was my bad 2 weeks ago that I made the statement of a public meeting. And that was without looking through the procedural bylaw. I should not have done that, and I admit that. Because that's not right. Because there is certain guidelines that we have to follow as far as a public meeting. But having said that, what council is attempting tonight is not a minor procedural amendment. It is an effort to shut the public out. By trying to remove the public input session from the committee of the whole agenda, council is choosing to prevent residents from exercising their democratic right to speak on matters that directly affect the township. And let's be very clear, the claim that we can't have public input at a committee of the whole meeting is false, and the township's own procedural bylaw proves it. I have reviewed the procedural bylaw 16-2023 in full. There is not a single clause that prohibits public input, delegations, or presentations from occurring at a committee of the whole meeting. The bylaw sets rules for delegations, presentations, meeting procedures, and the committee of the whole. But nowhere does it say that public participation is restricted or forbidden in that setting. Our lawyer acknowledges that the procedural bylaw is silent. There is no clause in the act, the bylaw, or the regulation requiring council approval. The opinion fills that silence with a new rule that does not exist in law. That is a judgment call, not legal requirements. The rules that allow a public participation at council apply equally to the committee of the whole. I cannot and will not support any move that denies residents their fundamental right to speak. Our residents deserve a voice, and I will continue to protect that right.
Yeah, as previously mentioned, as will your council. So we agree there should be public meetings. This is just not the time for them, as we stated before that.
And it's obvious that the mayor knew that exactly what was going to happen tonight because he had a pre-written speech about it.
Well,
Like
it's right on your agenda, Ted.
Yeah. You knew exactly what our voices were going to be. That's why you made this speech up, saying the complete opposite of what Councillor McMillan just stated. You're trying to say that we don't want public input. 30 seconds after she said we want public input. Like, it's unbelievable.
It's because he didn't have a speech to the contrary, so he had to say the speech that he had. Brian wants to speak.
Mr. Mayor, is it legal for one person of council to call a public meeting, or does it have to be a all of council decision to call a public meeting?
Public meeting, all of council.
There you go. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
I said right from the start that I was wrong 2 weeks ago.
And you're wrong tonight too.
And it's a council decision to amend the agenda. So I prepared a resolution moved by Carl Keel, second by Ted Brown. Be it resolved that council for the township of Killaloe, Haggerty, and Richards approves that the committee of the whole agenda for December 9th, 2025 be amended to include a public input section on council composition in the ward system.
Discussion.
Sure.
So just so the public's aware that we signed that only so it can be read in an open meeting. It's not that I supported it when I signed it. But if council does not sign them, they do not come forward. So.
More discussion?
More discussion, sure.
So what you're trying to do is say, just to be very clear, is say that having this, the public have an input session next Tuesday is that's going to be the one opportunity for people to comment on this. And so everyone who's not in the room does not get a say. That's what you're saying. Just to be clear. Right? Okay.
What my plan was to have the public's opinion so that council can vote on the 16th on these two bylaws, because it has to be through bylaw. So, yes, which way are you gonna vote? Wouldn't you rather vote with an opinion? Or do you know the opinion of each of your wards?
Council had already decided that we wanted the opinions of everyone. We wanted to give everyone a good opportunity to have their say. Because council's hung on this decision. Council has not been able to make a decision about this. So that's what council said. Let's go to the people. Let's talk to people and let's hear what they have to say. You're saying, let's do that only for the people who can squeeze into this room next week. Right?
I'm not saying that this chair will not call people liars if they change their mind, but some people may change their mind once they have all the information next Tuesday.
I think we want to have we want everybody to have the right to have a voice in this, not just a few people, not just the people who are here during this season. The will of council is to have everyone have a voice. We've passed our resolution tonight. It's done.
So, Carl?
How many people do you expect to get in December for a public meeting, Mr. Mayor? Tell me. Like 20, 25? What's it gonna do? Nothing. Thank you.
Any other comments?
You want everybody to speak, but we've got so many people that are away that aren't here in the winter. And they're important people also that can vote on it. They won't have a say on it. It's got to be when everybody is around.
I guess you'll have to come next Tuesday to find out all those important people, their voice.
How can they when they're out of the country?
I guess you'll find out Tuesday.
Council did not pass the resolution and did not agree to have a public input session next week.
Yeah, and
You've asserted that it's your right to do that as your strong mayor power or whatever. It's not. We've heard that before. You don't listen to that information.
It will be on the agenda.
It will not, there will be no public input discussion next week because you can't make a decision like that. That's a council decision and council. Well, we haven't voted on this yet, but we soon will.
Let's have a vote then. All those in favor? That's your resolution, isn't it?
Pardon?
We have to vote on that resolution?
Mhm.
And nobody voted on the resolution.
So it's not carried.
It's not carried. Okay. Closed meeting investigation.
Okay, so I presented council with a closed meeting investigators report regarding a complaint filed on November 1st, 2025. The complaint alleged that the closed session scheduled for November 4th, 2025 was likely to contravene the Municipal Act. The complaint noted that the agenda relied on the exception in section 239(2)(f) for solicitor-client privilege advice, but claimed council had already waived that privilege by summarizing the solicitor's opinion in open session on October 7th. The complainant argued that because privilege was waived, the matter could not be discussed in closed session on November the 4th. The full complaint summary and analysis can be found on page 2 of the report with the conclusion and recommendations on page 4. The closed meeting investigator found no breach of the Municipal Act, and as such, no recommendations are required. The closed meeting investigator did, however, provide 3 suggestions for council to consider for future meetings, which can be found on page 4. The report will be published on the township's website tomorrow.
Any questions?
Yeah, is that one of the complaints you put in? Did you put that complaint in?
No, but thanks for asking.
That's
Brian?
Yeah, who was the complainant on this case?
Who made the complaint?
Who was the complainant? Yeah.
We're not privy to that information.
Well, why is it public then? Why are we even reading this? If it's not, if the public isn't to know about it, why are we reading it?
It's easy to figure it. How to figure out science.
Everything's here except the name.
That's in the legislation, the name, it's protected through MFIPA.
I thought I saw Bill.
Yeah, it's interesting to note, I mean, just as a comment, that everyone around the table, including the mayor, knew that this was a valid closed meeting before the meeting actually happened, because the mayor had asked that question in an email that he sent to all of us, including the integrity commissioner, and the integrity commissioner found that it prior to the meeting, that it was a valid reason for going into a closed session meeting. So whatever the bill on this is going to come, whether it's $2 or $3 or $5,000, is a waste of money.
Just like the other ones here we read out earlier.
Okay. And we are now going to committee of the whole.
Moved by Brian Pakowski, second by Maureen McMillan, motion to move into committee of the whole. Be it resolved that council move into a closed meeting pursuant to section 239 of the Municipal Act 2001 as amended for the following reasons. Personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and labor relations or employee negotiations, vacation time provisions.
All those in favor? Carried.
Heavens to Betsy.